Shalom. I'd like to begin first and foremost by saying Barakatah Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahushai, Ba'asham Rakah Kadash, double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone, and salutations to the sincere Akim that push this truth with no due diligence and sincerity. Just on my way to a destination at the minute, but I just wanted to do this sit down on the topic of continuous growth. We are in this thing to grow continually. We're not here to be stagnant. If you were in Esau Edom's employment structure and you continuously just demonstrated a stagnant attitude, meaning that you're not making progression in your work, you're not getting better, you're not continuing to add value to his company, you would be fired. We are in Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai's work, man. The harvest is great, but the laborers are few. And it's our responsibility to be out there putting in this work, man. So wake the elect up, man. The elect Akim and the few Akwaf that are out there to be stewards for Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai upon the face of the planet Earth, to make Jake know that the great time of trouble is near, to get right with the Lord. Because ultimately, man, wisdom and knowledge pursuant to Isaiah 33 and 6 will be the stability of our times, and the only way that we're going to get out here, and the strength and ultimately our strength for salvation, man. We got a big responsibility, man, to make sure that Jake are as prepared as they can be for what's about to take place upon the face of the planet Earth, which ultimately is going to be holy hell and judgment, man. But you see, we've been given the blessed positioning that the Heavenly Father has given us the full knowledge of this, and we know his nature. We understand that he's bringing this judgment as a necessary evil upon the world, man, to correct errors, man, to ultimately, man, judge the 2/3 of Jake for their insolence, let's call it that. And then on top of that as well, to ultimately overthrow Esau Edom. This return, when Yahushua returns, is primarily about him redeeming his elect, who, he classes as his friends, and ultimately to overthrow Esau Edom, man, the devil that's currently ruling the face of the planet Earth. Now, that's a big responsibility, man. We're serving the King of the universe, as Apostle Sahar always refers to him as. So sometimes, man, so let me say this. So always, it's important that you always raise the bar, man. Set the bar high continuously. Sometimes, what I was going to say, you're going to have moments where you're tired. You're going to have moments where you might not feel like you're hot in the spirit. You're going to have moments where you'll get going through heavy tribulation and your mind is in 101 different places. But through it all, you need to serve Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai. Because guess what? The reason your baby mums is giving you hell, the reason that is being a demon, the reason why your children might be sick, the reason why you might be sick or having to do a lot at work and ultimately don't have any time for yourself even to breathe, so much as breathe, is ultimately because the Lord's got them curses on you, man. Like he has on all of us, Jake. Did he not say that the curses will pursue us, But ultimately, the Lord is going to make a way out for us, man. We, however, have to demonstrate faith. Faith. Nate once bashed us for being centered around faith because he's an idiot, and that man is not a man that, well, he could be, but where he's going on, he's not. But anyway, he once bashed us for being centered on faith. But guess what? We must be, and we exhort you to be faith-based Israelites, man. Be faith-based. Literally. Like, even if you don't, the main thing you need is the faith, man, in Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai. That is ultimately what's going to deliver you, man. Look at the woman that had the issue of blood for many years and no one was able to heal. And I believe she's the one that wanted to eat. There was one that either touched Yahushai's garment, and there was another account where somebody got healed by his shadow. Either way, the woman demonstrated such immense amounts of faith. Yahushai credited her and said, listen, never has such faith been displayed, man. amongst Israel, roughly paraphrasing, like he was so astounded by the woman's faith, man, that he said, listen, woman, thy faith has made thee whole, man. Faith. Now, she might not have been a scholar. She maybe couldn't quote you every single psalm, or like go into Chronicles and tell you every genealogy of the kings of northern and southern Israel. But guess what? Her faith made her whole. I say all of that to say, faith is important, man. You could be a young brother in this thing, maybe not able to break down the depths of the Chronicles and like the family lineage, and you might not even be able to do certain one-on-one breakdowns, like breaking down reincarnation or John the Revelator being Elijah and all of that. But guess what? You might just literally have heard this word and had faith, and that faith alone, yeah, is enough to seal you, man. It's enough for Yahweh Shai to have mercy upon you. Faith is the vital ingredient. When Yahweh Shai was on his ministry, there were many times where he rebuked people for their lack of faith. He even rebuked Peter, man. Many times. That he told Peter, listen, you're going to betray me 3 times. Peter said, nah, man. Lord, what are you talking about? I'm here to ride with you. When the carnal flesh had its way with Peter, and, the tempter did this thing, and Peter saw Yahweh Shai get taken away by the Romans, and there was one account where a woman recognized him and said, you're one of those apostles. Peter said, no, I don't know what you're talking about. Apostle, who are these men? I have nothing to do with them. Like, and there were 2 other occasions, because he witnessed Yahweh Shai being taken away into the temple to have that whole hearing. He witnessed Yahweh Shai ultimately being betrayed. He was with Yahweh Shai in the Garden of Gethsemane, the oil press. And he knew what was coming. He knew Yahweh Shai was going to have to be crucified, man. And in that moment, you can imagine how the disciples felt, man, when they scattered off, when the Romans came and took Yahweh Shai, man. Peter at that time would have thought, that all was lost, man, at that particular moment. But we know through extrapolation and reading of the scriptures what happened afterwards. But, when they were in the boat, man, and Yahweh Shai was in the lower deck asleep, and they were shook, thinking, fucking hell, there's a mad storm, and like, we don't know how we're gonna get delivered out of this. And Yahweh Shai literally just awoke out of sleep and rebuked them for their lack of faith and calmed the storm. Like, what you gotta understand is, faith, man, is one of the most vital ingredients, man. Like, when there were certain cities that Yahweh Shai visited where he performed no miracles because of their lack of faith, man. Faith. So I say all of that to say, yes, man, we will be faith-based Israelites, man, for as long as it takes for us to get into the kingdom, man. Yahweh Shai Ra'azah, he has mercy upon us, because that is the vital ingredient, brothers. Faith. That's what it's all about, man. That's what it's been about. Faith, yeah, in Yahweh Shai, man. And in doing so, the Lord will have mercy on us, so long as we maintain our faith in Him. You see, because at the end of the day, the Heavenly Father, pursuant to Deuteronomy, for the 32nd chapter, the 39th verse, is all powerful. No spirit on the left or the right hand side can compare with Him. So ultimately, we ought to, reverence Him as such, and give Him the honor that is due, man, because the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, is the almighty power, man. There ain't no one on His level, no being in heaven above or earth beneath that can defy His will, man. All things obey the Lord's will as is written, man. Even our instructions, me doing this video today, it has all been sealed by the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shai, man. So I say all that to say, man, brothers, man, listen, we need to maintain our faith in the Lord Yahweh, man. The Heavenly Father is going to deliver us. He's going to deliver us, man, because He promised unto our forefathers Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob that He would maintain and elect, man. And I'll say this, with all the work that we're doing, man, to make our call into election sure, Yahweh Shai, of course, we are those men. But I mean, come on, who else do you see out here remaining steadfast from our apostles on down, man, than the brothers of GMS and some of the associated camps? It's important, man, to really believe in what you're doing. You can't just be out here doing this truth, pushing this truth, claiming to be in this ministry, having that 1 foot out, 1 foot out type, 1 foot in, 1 foot out type of spirit, you really got to believe in what you're involved in, man. Because otherwise, really, you're just out here, just, parroting, playing a role, man, doing the work of the Most High deceitfully. You got to really sincerely believe what you're involved in. You got to sincerely believe that the Lord is going to have mercy upon you, Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shah, and deliver you as long as you continue in this faith, man. It's not an easy road, man. You lose a lot, man. Brothers have lost a lot. What did Peter say unto Yahweh Shai? We've followed you, forsaken houses, brethren, wives. Yahweh Shai said, listen, you shall, those of you that have lost in this world, man, in the regeneration, the reincarnation, you shall receive sevenfold. But guess what? Even to believe in reincarnation, that we are going to be back again on earth again in a new kingdom, in new bodies, it takes faith, brothers, man. It takes faith, not tangibly being able to physically touch rewards right now, where you see, even though it's rags, you see all of these wicked jakes out there living life and celebrating as it seems, doing what they do, getting by. It takes faith to know, listen, yeah, I may be suffering now, but the Lord has a greater purpose and a greater reward for me to come, man. It takes faith, but we maintain our faith in Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai Bashim Kakadosh, because ultimately speaking, the deeper you get into this truth, the more you realize this society ain't it, man. This is a demonic realm that we live in, and the only thing we have, man, the only purpose that we continue really on to live on is to push the doctrine of Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai, for the sake of the elect, for the redemption of the saints of Israel, man. The 144,000 and the 1/3 written off in Revelations, the 7th chapter, I believe it is, the 12,000 out of each tribe constituting 144,000, and the 1/3, man. That's all that we're in it for, man. That's the only purpose, man, for us being out here on this earth pushing this word, man. It is highly important, brethren, man, that we remember what we're involved in this thing for. Apostle Gabar also always pushes to remember what you're involved in. We are out here doing the work of the Most High Yahweh, man. Al-Shadja, man. The terrible demonic-like power, what he was known as in the ancient world before his name was more widely known. Yeah? We are doing the work of the God of the universe, man. And he demands perfection. The Lord will kill you for fucking about with his name, for fucking around with his work, pardon my language. For messing around with his sheep, man, his saints. Man, it's written in the book of Luke, I think it's what, Luke 12, roundabout, right at the top. It is impossible, but that offences will come, but woe to him through whom they come. It were better for him that a millstone were hanged about his neck and he drowned in the sea, than for him to offend one of these little ones. It might be Luke 17, either Luke 12, Luke 17, so like you. But the Lord said it was better for a man to have a stone cast around his neck and he drowned in the sea, than for him to offend one of his little ones. Think about that, man. Think about the gravity of this thing, man. What we're involved in is not a joke. The Lord Yahweh Shai and his son, man, are not powers to play with, man. Esau Edom is going to be totally decimated and destroyed and made an example out of, man. The 2/3 of our people are going to die gruesome deaths, man. We've been given an opportunity to wipe the blood off our hands and also ultimately wake our people up pursuant to Ezekiel 2 and Ezekiel 3, round about the 7th verse in both. And it's important to make sure that we give all diligence to make our calling to election sure, man. So that should that time come, we know we've done everything in our power to stand, man. Highly, highly, highly important, man. So Akim, say all of that to say, turn up, man. The signs are there. We are nearly at the time of deliverance, man. May the Lord Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai Bashim Kakadosh bless us all. Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai Bashim Kakadosh Barakatham. Until the next time, Shalom. Kwam Yashallah. Shalom.